Have you taken your child to the emergency room, urgent care, or hospital for asthma symptoms? Has your child missed school because of asthma? If you said yes to any of these questions, it's time to talk to an allergy and asthma specialist like me, who understands how difficult and frustrating it is to see your child struggle with asthma every single day. The good news is there are new ways and new medications to help you and your child take control of asthma and live an active life. If you feel your child's asthma is not under control, go to controlyourasthma.org.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 73 degrees now at Pittsburgh International at 11 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. No injuries were reported in a house fire in Westmoreland County. This fire happening Saturday afternoon around 3:30 in the 2000 block of Kenneth Avenue in Arnold. It took about 45 minutes for firefighters from Westmoreland and Allegheny counties to get the fire under control. Authorities say the home was recently vacated. The cause of the fire under investigation. Well, we now know the name of the person who died after being stabbed multiple times at a home in Jefferson Hills. Allegheny County Police responded to the 100 block of Arnone Drive on Saturday afternoon around 4 o'clock. Initial reports into 911 was that the man was shot, but it was determined that instead he was stabbed multiple times. He's been identified as 69-year-old Haji Buhari. It's unclear if there are any suspects' descriptions or what led to that stabbing Saturday afternoon in Jefferson Hills. Vice President J.D. Vance arriving in Switzerland for the first high-level direct talks between the U.S. and Iran. Meanwhile, fighting in Lebanon continues to threaten the negotiations. ABC News foreign correspondent Britt Clinette is in Israel.
With the fighting in southern Lebanon escalating, Iran announcing on Saturday that it's shut the Strait of Hormuz, citing the strikes and the blatant breach and violation by the United States of the first clause of the ceasefire agreement, which calls for fighting to end on all fronts. But the U.S. is denying the claim that Iran is in control of the strait.
The on-again, off-again shutdown of the Parkway North is now on again. Here's News Radio KDK's David Ballarado.
As crews work to demolish Jack's Run Bridge number 3, they'll need to fully shut down the Parkway North between Camp Horn Road and the entrance ramp for McKnight. But all last week, there were equipment issues that led to the postponement of the work. But now it's scheduled to resume, meaning nightly closures from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. starting Monday night. Saturday's closure will go until 9 a.m. Drivers will need to follow the posted detours based on where they're headed. Also, northbound drivers will have their own set of warnings. The left lane will be closed in the same area from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. A footnote, if there's any heavy rains or lightning, they can't do the demolition work. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
KDK Radio News Time. We're coming up on 11:03. We've got the AccuWeather forecast next.
Life's best moments start with perfect choices. For Connie Nowak, it was a trolley ride and a 67-year love story. A life of family, smart decisions, and companionship with Chester the cat. Her retirement choice, the Village at St. Barnabas. Recreation, healthcare, close to family, everything on her list. Plus, it's an exceptional retirement value with a flexible entry process and affordable rates. St. Barnabas Retirement Communities, stbarnabascommunities.com, or call 724-444-5568.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-746-3737. That's 800-746-3737. 800-746-3737.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Partly sunny this afternoon, the high 77. Mostly cloudy tonight with rain and a thunderstorm later on, low 61. Mostly cloudy, humid tomorrow. A few showers and a thunderstorm, high 74. And then lower humidity Tuesday, high 77. For AccuWeather, I'm John Feerick, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
The following is an editorial by KDKA Radio Regional Vice President Michael Spacciapoli.
Once again, we are honoring dads on this Father's Day weekend. Men with children who are growing or have left the nest, and those with grandchildren. This is our time to express gratitude for fathers. It is also time to remember fathers no longer with us and dads who are our heroes. So here's to the fathers of all ages and those who have left us. Men who are dependable, involved, compassionate, honest, playful, industrious, and just great human beings. Happy Father's Day.
This has been an editorial by KDKA Radio Regional Vice President Michael Spacciapoli. To view a transcript, go to kdkaradio.com.
It's sports down and dirty, Pittsburgh style. It's the Black and Gold Sunday Show on News Radio KDKA. Presented by Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition. And brought to you by Leon's Billiards and more.
Well, to you, Joe, and to you, Greg, on this very wonderful day. Happy Sunday. Good to have both of you here as we salute dads everywhere. And maybe their fathers should be calling some of these pirates and saying, I taught you better than what I've witnessed over the last couple of days. We begin on page 1, Joe Giordano, IMG Academy in sunny state of Florida, the Sunshine State, and Greg Dylas looking as though with that shirt he should be in Hawaii as opposed to Pittsburgh, but it's good to see you. And this, the first Father's Day without your dad, so a little emotional, but we are definitely thinking about the man called Sonny.
I appreciate that. Dad gets to spend the first one upstairs with his dad, so I'm kind of happy for him to be able to experience that heavenly Father's Day. So good for him.
My dad gone 26 years next month, and this was his famous saying to me every Sunday: "Shut up and eat." That's what he used to say to me. Shut up and eat. I miss you, Dad. And that's the truth, but I love him. All right, listen. Joe, we've got so much to get to you with. We're going to keep you 2 segments if it's okay with you. We really appreciate your expertise. And I will begin with the topic, late game execution. Where has it gone with this Pittsburgh Pirates team? I know Cruz and Connor Griffin are out, but come on, guys. Late game execution. Skip, go ahead.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I was watching the game last night, and, you got a leadoff double, and then you get a guy, bases loaded with less than with 1 out, and we can't move the baseball. I mean, that is something that you just can't do. I mean, especially when you have a good outing as a start, good job by the bullpen, and you have those opportunities. I was a little bit perplexed though on the call that ended the game. I didn't get a clear explanation from where I was sitting, and I'm still a little bit confused on that, where the interference was. But you're right. I mean, when you have those opportunities, you got to move the baseball. It's that simple.
Hey, Joe, I had a chance to see a late night replay from another angle, and Billy Cook's right heel did kick the glove of the third baseman. So that probably more legitimized the fact that there was actual contact between them. It probably was the right call, although distressing the way it was. The execution of the call was kind of distressing because it came so late, only after a complaint, and it was disturbing as a Pirates fan. But I actually think they did get it right.
Well, again, I was not able to hear the explanation,
right.
But I was pretty perplexed on it, and that's a heck of a way to lose a game.
You ain't kidding. When it's funny, Rob brought up.
But they also had two opportunities, to move the baseball with less than 2 outs and a couple of strikeouts. So
yep, exactly. And the night before they had the bases jammed, nobody out. Ryan. Is it Callahan? 2 nights in a row struck out with the bases loaded and less than 2 outs. So a rough series for him, and he looked rather distraught at the bench. It's funny though, Joe. Rob brought up the Pirates' late game execution. Reminded me of John McKay at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when somebody asked him about what he thought of his offense's execution. He said, "I'm for it. I'm absolutely for it."
Yes, that's right.
All right.
No doubt about it.
Speaking of execution, this offensive slump. Skip, we begin with you in Florida on a beautiful sunny day in that state as we can see you in the Metropolitan Window video screen. And if you'd like to see him and hear it stream live, why not? KDKRadio.com, KDK Watch. Offensive slump. What do you do about that, or can you do anything other than cross your fingers and make the sign of the cross? Go ahead.
Well, I lit a candle today to St. Joseph, and hopefully that'll help all the fathers out there.
Can he hit
some of the Pirates? But if he can, I'm sure he could, from what I understand. At least that's my belief, right? But I tell you what, it's just one of those things where we've been talking about it all year. Is just simplify some things and just try and make good hard contact. You don't have to win the game with one swing of the bat, although those opportunities were certainly there. But just drive the baseball. Make good contact, shorten the swing, hit behind a runner. Even when we got the leadoff double in the ninth. Hit the ball the opposite way, get the runner to third base with less than 2 outs. There's a lot more things that can happen with a runner on third base less than 2 outs than not. So, again, I think, when you look at the overall perspective, now we're game under 500, that might start to play a little psychological effect on things. Let's hope not. But you just got to put all the pieces together again. The timely hitting, the good starting pitching, and the bullpen that's consistent.
Joe, it's interesting. The Bucks, they're going to be the only team in the history of baseball to go into a slump going into Colorado.
Yeah, that's a head scratcher. Colorado's been really struggling this year.
Well, plus with
mind
the big...
you, Warren Schaefer, the skipper of the Rockies, played for Virginia Tech when we played against them. So it's kind of interesting to see that. But he was a heck of a player. But you're right. I mean, that's a pitching staff that gives up a lot of runs. And in Colorado, where the offense usually flourishes for both teams. But we got to get back to simplify things and just look to make really good hard contact, especially in situational at-bats.
It was interesting this week, Joe. The Pirates made a move with the catching situation, trading Joey Bart, keeping Henry Davis, and basically making Endy Rodriguez your 4 out of 5 day catcher, and making Davis your guy to catch his skeins and gives Endy a day off. Davis had a drive into the gap last night that it just kind of lost its momentum as it got toward the warning track into the wall, didn't get out. it just seems like they've been so close. I think Ozuna the night before had one that, kind of got into that, even if it doesn't seem like there are many dead zones in Colorado, but where he hit it, where those guys hit him, they just got to the place where baseballs just go to die in that deepest part of the ballpark type area.
Yeah, I noticed even yesterday in the top of the night. Did you see that wind gust? It started blowing in all of a sudden, and so normally the ball travels a lot better at that altitude, but it's again there's a lot of what ifs, and in baseball, if it was a foot here, a foot there. Could have been a different situation, but I think just the consistency of the at-bats, cutting down on the strikeouts and making good contact, especially, as I just mentioned, in those situational at-bats,
all right,
is critical. There's a fine line for mistakes, and we're teetering on it.
All right, Coach, stay where you're at. We're going to keep you one more segment. Former Pitt Panther coach Joe Giordano, now part of that great brand that is IMG Academy. So run support for Paul Skeens. Doesn't seem to be there. Do you, mess with the lineup to help him, or has anybody actually ever done that to help one pitcher? And maybe now might be the time to see what you can get for Paul Skeens. We'll take a break. Stay with us.
When you need to talk, we're here for you. Always have been. News Radio KDKA.
Here's a World Soccer Championship preview.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's. And by the first ever Infiniti QX65. All 4 teams in Group H will try to avoid a second draw in their next match. Spain is expected to put on a better performance this time around against Saudi Arabia in Atlanta, while Uruguay expect another disciplined showing from debutants Cabo Verde. A win and 3 points by any of the 4 teams in Group H will likely open the path to advance to the knockout rounds. I'm Fernando Carlos.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. One of our guiding principles is to provide great beds at a great value. Our goal is to prove this to our customers every single day. We believe in producing quality mattresses in our factory and selling them directly to you, eliminating the middleman markup. You can rest easy knowing that you're getting a hand-built mattress at a real value. Stop by a location near you. We're confident that you'll be able to see and feel the OMF difference for yourself. Learn more at originalmattress.com.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
It's the Black and Gold Sunday Show on News Radio KDKA. Presented by Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
I know how much we love baseball, College World Series. We'll get a quick thought now from the skipper, Mr. Joe Giordano, Oklahoma, North Carolina. Oklahoma's got one. They're going to play a little bit later. So, Greg, take it away.
Yeah, Joe, North Carolina bounced our buddies from West Virginia earlier in the series and looked like they had their path smooth, especially playing an unseeded Oklahoma Sooners team in a best-of-3 for the championship, and Oklahoma jumped out and gave them a little shot in the mouth yesterday, 9-3 in the opening of the finals.
Yeah, that was surprising because North Carolina was playing really good baseball. Scott Forbes, a great guy, and I competed against Mike Fox, who was outstanding as well. But I tell you, that Oklahoma just seems to be playing so well in all phases of the game. And obviously, they're surprising a lot of people, and they got some momentum. So North Carolina's going to have to do something special today to even that series out. But I tell you what, the momentum is certainly in Oklahoma's favor right now.
Joe, the college baseball game seems to be one sport that in the NCAA has the balance of power has really shifted from the old days where it always used to be Oklahoma State, Mississippi State back in the days of Will Clark and those guys. Texas is still a perennial powerhouse, but it seems like not all the schools. It's really a SEC heavy sport now, as opposed to what used to be, the old Pac-10, Pac-8 type guys that were really great.
Yeah, I think when you look at the Power Four conferences, the SEC and the ACC, plus the top half of that Big 12 is really very, very strong. And I've said this all along, Greg, that, in college baseball, there's about maybe 30 teams that are hardwired to go to Omaha, where they have all the support, and whatever the regulations or changes that are made with the NCAA, those administrations go with it and prepare their teams to compete at the highest level. But with I don't know if you saw the new CBA proposal that was sent out by Major League Baseball, cutting out all high school players from the draft and dropping the draft from 20 rounds to 12. So that's going to make it even more competitive in college baseball and junior college baseball. And certainly it's going to reduce the number of opportunities to play at the Division I level.
Yeah, that's really interesting because it's not that proposal is not even a one and done proposal. It's 2 years out of it's kind of a meld of the pro football area where it's you got to be 3 years removed from high school. So this proposal is 2 years removed from high school. It'll funnel a lot more talent to colleges, but it's going to minimize the numbers of available scholarships. Am I correct?
Well, the teams that opted in after the latest proposals and the guidelines that were set by the NCAA that decide to pay the athletes, there are no scholarship numbers anymore. It's full roster, full scholarships. And again, I don't know if every team has done that, even if they have opted in. That's an expensive proposition. Wow. But it's certainly going to be an interesting scenario if that is approved, simply because I will tell you this, the number of college athletes that make the major leagues is significantly higher than the high school kid that is drafted out of high school making it to the big league. So it seems like the ABCA, which is the American Baseball Coach Association, which governs and is a representative of all amateur baseball, they're working closely with Major League Baseball in trying to make all of this work. So it looks like Major League Baseball is trying to really simplify and put the high school kids into college, and the draft is going to focus on the best college players in the future if this is approved.
Well, maybe they should pay attention to what happened with travel ball and how it's really destroyed local baseball, high school baseball. So I think they need to examine that a little bit. All right, let's get back to Paul Skeens' thought process, mindset, and then trade and strategy possibly moving forward. We'll begin with you, and then Greg can jump in. Go ahead, Skip.
I wouldn't put Skeens out there as trade because I think he is a guy that with him on the mound, you have a chance to win every game. I think you might look at some other scenarios where you might be able to get some more offense in that lineup, or you wait it out and hope Ozuna comes around a little bit and gets hot, and with Griffin getting back in the lineup at some point, you have maybe a possibility of starting to click again, and like we talked about last week, connecting those at bats up and down through the lineup. So I think that there is success in there, but we have some pieces missing right now. And again, just my opinion, I would not think that the Pirates should float that idea around with Skeens.
All right, not necessarily Skeens per se, but what about trades strategy in general? Go ahead.
Yeah, see, I think that what they have here is the nucleus of something really good. If you looked at their top 6 batters in the order last night, every one of them had an OPS above 800. But then you got to 7, 8, and 9, and you didn't have a guy that was above 600. So it was a precipitous drop-off. However, you got to remember, your 2 biggest guns are hurt right now, and they're going to be coming back. My position would be you got to try to ride out this storm. Weather the storm. Kind of try, if you can stay at 500 or better, then you get the 2 big guns back. Then you got a chance to make your run. There's so many teams clustered right now at around 500 or a few games above 500. You still have a shot if you can get to and through the middle part of July and you're still alive. Then you get your big guns back. You're going to be okay.
Go ahead, Skip.
Well, again, I apologize, Rob. Maybe I misinterpreted.
No, that's
what
okay.
You were
That's
saying
okay.
there,
That's okay.
with Skeens, but as I just said, I think when you have the lineup back to where it was when the season started, plus Griffin, of course, I think there's. I agree with Greg. There's that opportunity that starts clicking again. I just think the consistency and trying to hold it together and, again, ride this out, I think that's the best way forward. And, again, hopefully a couple of these guys get hot at the same time, pick up a little bit in the bullpen, a little more consistency. I think they can make a run.
Well, they're 8.5 out. They're a game under 500. You got to get this one against Colorado. You get a day off tomorrow. Then Tuesday, Seattle comes to town, and they're in the top spot as far as the American League West. So you got to get this one today. Hey, we appreciate you, sir. Enjoy your sunshine and enjoy your Sunday, and we'll do it again next week, okay?
Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure to be with you.
All right.
Thanks, Joe.
Same here, Joe. Lots to get to with the counselor, Greg Diolis. Coming up at noon, Woodhome Country Club in Maryland. It is his new home. Former soccer guy and golf guy, so we're going to take care of both of them. And he could even handle Wimbledon because he knows tennis, too. He's Alex Childs, our good friend for 17 years at the Fox Chapel Golf Club. He'll be joining us today. And, of course, Ted Arnaud is back with a whole lot of stuff to talk about in the way of the NFL.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My best advice to you when hiring a lawyer for your injury case is simple. If you know court personnel, ask them who they'd hire. They know. If you know an insurance adjuster, ask them. They know. And then ask them about us. Ask them about Morgan & Morgan. They know. I look forward to talking to you soon. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm for the people. Injured? Dial Pound Law.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwyck Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. A robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
In 1945, my grandparents made sausage using the finest ingredients and a lot of love. I'm Ernie Ritchie. After 80 years, the recipe never changed. Visit our store and celebrate our 80th anniversary. Ritchie's Italian Sausage. It's what Pittsburgh eats since 1945.
Hearing the news every day is one thing. Hearing it hit home is something altogether different. That's the difference you hear every day on KDKA Radio. We go beyond the benign headlines and bring the news to life, your life. So stay here and hear the news and what a difference it makes. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 73 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 11:30. I'm Rob Taylor. The man who died after being stabbed multiple times in Jefferson Hills Saturday afternoon has been identified. The Allegheny County Medical Examiner says 69-year-old Alhaji Buhari was stabbed multiple times in Jefferson Hills at a home Saturday afternoon. The incident occurred in the 100 block of Arnone Drive. Right now, unclear if there are any suspect descriptions or what led to the stabbing. Allegheny County Police are leading the investigation. Well, City Council this week expected to approve some bills to make it easier for Pittsburghers to test their green thumbs. News Radio KDK's David Ballarado with more.
The idea is to give more people who may not have the land themselves the ability to grow a garden. Council on Tuesday is expected to approve the creation of an official City Farms Garden program. It would give city parks the legal authority to let community members use certain city-owned lands for things like community gardening. Council is also expected to formally approve taking a $25,000 grant from the Open Space Institute to help buy up delinquent land that could be used for such things through a Greenways program to be run by the Department of City Planning. In Council's committee meeting last week, members talked about how some residents have to wait on a list for years before they can get access to some of the existing community gardens. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
KDKA Radio News Time, 11:31. Next updates at noon. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio, KDKA.
Rob Pratt here. I'm talking with our good friend John Diagardi of Rome Monument about monument plans designed to meet the needs of different faiths. John, how do these pre-need plans work?
Whatever your faith, Catholic, Jewish, Protestant, or Orthodox, we have a customized monument plan for you. It enables you to get the exact monument design you want in accordance with the traditions of your religion and do so at the price you want to pay.
How important is pre-planning a monument in harmony with one's faith?
Rob, it should be as important as planning an insurance policy, a will, or choosing a cemetery. And pre-planning enables you to design, plan, and pay for the monument that best reflects you and your faith. It's also a thoughtful gift to children because it relieves them of the stress and financial responsibility of making these decisions after you passed.
Friends, learn more about these 3-year interest-free plans at one of Rome Monument's 9 showrooms or click romemonuments.com.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
From weddings to office events, let Jimmy Wands handle the menu. Enjoy full-service catering, takeout, or free delivery for your next big celebration. Bold flavors and deliciously convenient options from their family to yours. Jimmy Wands Restaurant and Lounge.
It's back in the heart of downtown Pittsburgh. Rock, Reggae, and Relief returns Saturday, August 8th, featuring UB40, Allie Campbell, G-Love, and more. Enjoy summer vibes while supporting Cafe Momentum. Get your tickets today at rockreggaerelief.com. It's the weekly program that keeps you current with the latest travel trends and vacation values. Listen to AAA's Talking Travel every Saturday morning at 11 on KDKA Radio.
Details at KDKARadio.com.
While the world watches the stars at the FIFA World Cup this summer, Hyundai has its eyes on the next generation of talent. The future stars who are already turning heads at age 14. Because next doesn't wait for an invitation. And neither do we. Hyundai has always moved the future within reach. We did it when we made advanced safety standard on every vehicle and engineered EVs with ultra-fast charging capability. Because the future isn't some far-off concept. It's already here. Next starts now. Hyundai, an official partner of FIFA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Partly sunny this afternoon, the high 77. Mostly cloudy tonight with rain and a thunderstorm later on, low 61. Mostly cloudy, humid tomorrow. A few showers and a thunderstorm, high 74. And then lower humidity Tuesday, high 77. For AccuWeather, I'm John Feerick, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, it's the weekend, and it's a great one, but I'll be back Monday. Can't wait. 2 to 6 right here. Colin Dunlap.
All right, so you're going to try to make this happen next week for me?
I will make it happen.
Well, Meg Bolger we're talking about, truly a great D1 player out of Western Pennsylvania that I covered back in the glory days when I actually had a career. Just kidding. But anyway, WNBA, I just mentioned to you, I watched Angel Reese yesterday, Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese now has reached 1,000 rebounds in her young career, but then you said to me, she can't what?
She can't score.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, she can't score.
But Caitlin Clark can score from anywhere on the floor.
Yeah, and I'm glad she's back because she ended up last year on, I think she was injured for about the last few weeks of the season, and that really took the air out of that balloon.
You know who I really like because of her tenacity? And yes, she is a beautiful young girl. And if you're looking to meet a 27-year-old Pratt by the name of Robbie, I'd love you to come and visit him. This Sophie Cunningham, who plays as the enforcer but can really play the game in Indiana, she has done so much for the brand that is the WNBA. What a promoter and what a future she has.
She actually is friends with Travis Kelce. And when my girls were out there for a game, they were in the Kelce luxury box and had a chance to spend some time with her. They said she's awesome. She's
got
really
a
good.
Great personality, and she reminds me of some of the Bill Lambier, Charles Oakley. I mean, she likes to throw the elbows. Man.
She likes to be the villain too. She loves that role. You know that she's eating that up. She would be great in the wrestling world as the combatant that
to take on Ric Flair's daughter.
Yeah,
that would be great. All right, we have a lot of stuff to get to. We're going to talk U.S. Open a little bit with Alex Childs, who used to be at Fox Chapel Golf Club. After 17 years now, Woodholm Country Club in Pikesville, Maryland. We're going to talk to him about the World Cup. A lot of things happening in the world of sports. I want to go back to the Pirates real quick. I know we're kind of a little disgusted because we're expecting more. But I want to ask you, and I have no insight on anything because that's not what I do, not full time anyway. But this Connor Griffin injury, it's got me a little concerned.
Well, it had me concerned as soon as the first report was forearm tightness, because that always, in my opinion, leads to a visit with Dr. Job's clinic out in the Curlin Job Clinic and Dr. Neil Elatrosh, and that leads to the Tommy John surgery issue. Now, all reports are that's not what he has. He's now throwing. He's up over 150 feet in his throwing sessions, even though those sessions are every other day. Still somewhat befuddling why he couldn't DH while he was working through the throwing program. But we're already beyond that. He's been on the IL, the injured list. So it seems to be that he's working this through, getting himself stronger. The arm's going to be okay, and this will be just a blip on the radar screen in a long career as a Pittsburgh Pirate.
All right, so 866-391-1020. I'm going to throw out this crazy analogy. Anybody wants to jump in if you have the courage. I would consider trading Paul Skeens. I would. Look, it's never going to be enough. It's just because this team is not built to score a lot of runs on a regular basis, even every 5 days. They're not going to be able to re-sign him because they've given Connor Griffin this money right now, and O'Neal Cruz is going to want a bag of cash. I love the kid. He goes once every 5 days. They do have some pitchers. They have some prospects. I don't even know if they could afford whatever they traded for Paul Skeens, but I would at least test the waters. Does anybody agree or disagree? And I'm sure a lot of people are going to push back, but I'm a big guy. I can handle it. I got my big boy pants on. So 866-391-1020.
Well, it takes me back to the days when they were getting ready to draft Paul Skeens. I was pounding the drum that they should have drafted his LSU teammate Dylan Cruz instead. You get an everyday player. Now, Dylan Cruz hasn't lived up to the advanced billing. He hasn't gotten anywhere near as good as Paul Skeens. But the fact of the matter is the Pirates don't win when Paul Skeens pitches.
Never.
And if they don't win when Paul Skeens pitches, what's the difference? What good is he? I'll give you this much. He helps fill up the stadium. People want to go see him pitch. When it's a Paul Skeens night, you want to go see him. When I know that Paul Skeens is going to be coming up in the rotation, I try to stack my season tickets that I share with guys so that I get a chance to see him as many times as possible because he is really fun to watch. And every time he goes out there, you think he's got a chance to throw a perfect game or get a no-hitter late into the game. But then you get that distressing thought that he'll be throwing a no-hitter or even a perfect game into the 7th, 8th inning, and they take him out because they're worried about his pitch count. Hey, Ben Cherington. Hey, Donnie Kelly. He ain't going to be here for that long. Use him up. Ride the horse. Don't wait. There's no reason to save him for somebody else. Yeah. Why are we saving him so he can have a long career with the Dodgers?
Trade him to an American League team. I would. Look, with all due respect, you can see the twinkle basically just fading away from his eyes.
You're right. Well, not only from his eyes, but from the fans who are watching him. One of the callers to the Fan this week started referring to him as St. Paul, and I thought it was a great thing. Like he's untouchable. Nobody's untouchable in this organization.
Well, there's the kid now from Milwaukee who's kind of gathering all the headlines, and he's the second coming.
Billy Mazeroski's nephew. No, different name, different spelling.
I said, man, this
is Mazeroski. No, different guy.
Mazeroski guy is like, he is Paul Skeens 101. What happened?
Yeah,
I knew he was good, but gee, he's 8-0 or something like that?
He threw the fastest pitch in Major League history a little while ago, threw 60 pitches above 100 miles an hour.
Listen, I know even if he goes on to have a Hall of Fame career, one day every 5 days, they need bats. They need a catcher full time. You think Rodriguez is a guy?
And he's going to be your answer.
I hope
and
he's
going to be a star.
You think?
Yeah.
Can he hit with power?
Yeah, enough power.
I'm not.
You don't need your catcher to be, the greatest hitter of all time. You need, maybe 260 out of him, get you 15, 20 home runs and 80 RBIs, and you're good.
All right, short break in a couple of minutes. But before we go to the break, I want to get some of these calls. People want to talk. Do you dare to agree or disagree? Trade Skeens while you can get the most out of him, because in the long run, he's not going to get you what you need, and that's the promised land, the World Series. Tim, Penn Hills, KDK, Coons Market, Black and Gold Sunday Show.
Happy Father's Day, guys.
Thank you.
Hey. I'll make it quick. Yes, I think I would trade Skeens. I don't like it, but I would. But can I ask the counselor a quick question?
Go for it.
Wyndham Clark. He's been banned from Oakmont. I think, didn't he win in 2024? The Open will be there 2033. He'll be eligible to play, especially if he wins today.
This is the worst story that Oakmont could dream to have happen, is to have this lout, this entitled jerk come in there and win a U.S. Open after trashing the sacred locker room in Oakmont. You know what's going to happen. He's going to get invited back to the U.S. or qualify for the U.S. Open. He's going to have to come to Oakmont and not be allowed in the clubhouse.
Like Forrest Fezler putting shorts on in the
That's it. Let him change in a parking lot.
All right. Thanks, Timmy.
I'll see you guys.
See you, Timmy.
All right, here's Rick in Chippewa. Rick, you're on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. Go.
Hey, guys, happy Father's Day to you and everyone. Now, listen, if the center fielder missed the ball, it rolled to the fence, and I think O'Hearn's playing right. He bobbles that ball when picking it up. They got a shot at him at the plate if he doesn't bobble, but that's okay. That happens. The Pirates need to learn how to play baseball. Kelly needs to know how to manage. You got to bunt in this game, and it's not small ball. It's called baseball. There's so many times this year, and they have lost how many games by one run? I'll bet you if they bunted, they have 5 more wins in the win column. And last night, the bases are loaded. You can't hit, so you might as well try to bunt. I don't care if you get thrown out of the plate. Guess what? You still got the second guy, or the guy on second base moves up to third. So you're out. So what? You did it. Do it again.
Rick, that's an awesome idea, especially since it happened the night before. You figure, don't let this happen to me again. That's an awesome idea. I didn't think of the squeeze as I was watching the game, but you're absolutely right. Squeeze would have been an absolute perfect solution there to at least when you're up with nobody out, you squeeze and you get that opportunity. And like you said, even if you get thrown out at the plate, you still got the sacks jammed in one out.
Yeah, and send Kelly an email. Baseball, bunt. They can't hit, bunt. You got one guy on there. I think it's either Triola or who's the other guy that can really bunt?
Mangum. Mangum can bunt.
I don't care. I don't care if they bunt the first 9 guys up today.
Well, that's you were asking. I told you it was Mangum.
Hey, Rick, come on, have some guts here. Do we trade Paul Skeens?
I can't hear you. Go ahead.
Give me an answer here. Do we trade Paul Skeens or not?
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Who else is in the room? Yeah,
no, you want me to be the general manager. They won't listen to me about bunting, so I tell them to trade Paul. If they trade Paul Skeens, make sure you get 10 guys.
I like that.
Well, let me ask you. Thanks, Rick. What do you think they could realistically get for him?
You're getting prospects. That's all you're going to get. Nobody's going to get, because you only got control for a couple of more years on them, and then you got to try to sign them. You're going to get prospects. That's it. Trading is not the solution.
Being that he's not costing you a lot of money, you don't want to get rid of him. Okay, right now anyway. Tom in Mount Lebanon, you're coming up next. Stay with us. We've opened the phone lines up, getting some great response. We appreciate it. If you got something worthwhile, would you trade Paul Skeens? Because in the big picture, he's not the only piece that's needed to get you to a World Series. 866-391-1020.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Summer's here, and so are the savings at Lacina Drapery and Blind Factory. It's the perfect time to refresh your home with custom draperies, blinds, shades, shutters, and upholstery. Lacina doesn't just sell their beautiful custom products, they make them right in Lacina's own factory. That means low factory direct prices, expert measurement, and installation. Lacina quality from start to finish. Visit Lacina's 2 showrooms or have them come to your home. Call 412-665-4900 or visit LacinaDrapery.com. Tickets are on sale now for the upcoming season of the Pittsburgh Speakers Series at Heinz Hall, presented by University of Pittsburgh, with Anderson Cooper, former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, historian Anne Applebaum, financial journalist Andrew Ross Sorkin, former NASA Administrator Charles Bolden, and acclaimed war photographer Lindsay Addario. For information and tickets, go to pittsburghspeakers.org. Sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James.
Don't know who to trust? Go with the sure thing. PJ Fitzpatrick has been your trusted roofer for 45 years. They've earned thousands of 5-star reviews and back all new roofs with a lifetime guarantee on materials and labor. The PJ Fitzpatrick team of experienced professionals install most roofs in just one day. Set up a free consultation this month to save thousands. Plus, they have a variety of financing packages that work with any budget. Don't wait. Visit trustpj.com today.
You can never have too many tools. Shop DeWalt deals at Lowe's. Get a free Select DeWalt 20-Volt Max Power Tool when you buy a Select 20-Volt Max 5-amp-hour battery kit. Plus, get a free additional DeWalt 20-Volt Max 8-amp-hour battery when you buy a DeWalt 10-inch 20-Volt Max dual-bevel compounded miter saw. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 6/24 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
It's the Black and Gold Sunday Show on News Radio KDKA. Presented by Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
All right, we're back. I don't know, folks. I'm like wound up today for some reason. You know, I don't know if it's the coffee that kicks in. I get here at like 4 in the morning. And by the time Greg gets here, I'm like wired for sound. Anyway, if your dad were here today, God rest his soul, Father's Day, and you had to give him a meal. We don't get the chance to talk about the menu anymore. You'll have the kids over later, poolside. You and your lovely wife will have fun. What was your dad's favorite meal, though?
Fried bologna sandwich.
Was it?
Absolutely. Fried bologna, American cheese on toast.
No kidding.
That was, anytime I'd ask him, what are you having for, what do you want, Dad? Fried bologna.
Did you think that came from his childhood?
Probably.
I love it. All right, here we go. Tom in Mount Lebanon. Tom, you're on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. How are you?
I'm doing great, Rob. Rob and Greg, great show as always. Regarding Skeens, he's under control to the Pirates until 2029. And you got to wait and see what this 2027 labor agreement brings.
Yeah.
If there's a floor and a salary cap, they might be able to afford Skeens. So you got to wait to see what 2027 brings. And if by chance 2029 rolls around, you can get a king's ransom for him. I'm thinking like two regular starters and 2 top 10 prospects, but I think you got to wait until 2027 rolls around with his floor and cap.
So, Tom, that description of two starters, and I'm talking about it, a 2 and a 3 in a rotation plus two top 10 prospects. Would you do that deal right now, or are you saying that's something that you can do in 2029?
I'm thinking, Greg, that you can do that in 2029.
Yeah.
You got to wait to see what this 2027 labor agreement brings. And, Greg, do you think that there will be a floor and a cap?
No. I as much as the world knows that that's what's appropriate, it's going to take a whole lot of, painful process to go through that, because the Players Association is absolutely dead set that they won't even enter negotiations that include a salary
All right,
cap.
hold on 1 second, Tom. You bring up a great point. Now, you got to put your baseball cap on, and you're at PNC Park drinking an icy light, and then you got to put your Brooks Brothers suit on as an attorney. So
Right.
And an agent. So that's what you're saying as an attorney, as an agent. But as a fan, what are you hoping for?
Oh, what I'm hoping for is 100% salary cap, salary floor. Even if it's a broad spectrum. Say it's 370 million cap, 170 million floor. That still gives the rich teams the ability to do what they want to do, but at least it forces the lower teams to get up into an area where they can be competitive with what they do. And now it's you just have to be smart with your dollars. The way it is right now, it's almost impossible, even though we see teams like the Milwaukee Brewers doing it, being able to be competitive, but it's tough to do it year in, year out. I think you need a salary cap and floor, but it's going to be really difficult to ever get that to happen. It will take an extended lockout/strike before you see it actually happen.
Tom, one thing before you go. The only thing I'm worried about that could really deflate the tires very quickly, God forbid some sort of arm injury sets him back, or elbow problem, or Tommy John, and then everything's off the table. So I can go 2027, but I if the Pirates don't turn it around, I can't go much longer than that. Your thoughts?
I agree with you, Rob. I agree with you 100% on that.
All right, Tom.
No, hey, Tom, did you watch a game last night? I forgot to pay attention. Did he throw any pitches over 100 miles an hour last night?
None. He was going 97, 98, Greg.
That's a little concerning there, that he's gone, from 2 years ago, he was consistently 101, maybe touched 102 a time or two, but he was consistently in the 100-plus range, and now we don't ever see 100 out of him.
Right. What I don't like, Greg, is around the 4th or 5th innings, he's around 100 pitches already. That takes a lot out of him, too.
Yeah, but part of that, it had, some of the defense that going on had, in retrospect, if Mangum doesn't die for that ball, if he just fields it on one bounce, you got a runner on first base instead of a guy that's already across the plate. Maybe that whole game, comes out differently because you had a little bit of momentum with the leadoff dinger, and then all of a sudden the game's 1-1 before you even sat down and opened your first Coors Light in Coors Field.
Right. Both of you have a great day, and happy Father's Day to both of you.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for calling in.
Tommy, thanks for one of my favorite parts of this great community, Mount Lebanon. I've been to that saloon for a long time over there in Mount Lebanon, eating them peanuts, drinking a cold beer, watching the Pirates.
It's pretty nice. They open those windows up. You can sit there and let the breeze come in on a nice summer evening. It's a nice little establishment.
Is there anything better than that, though? A cold, icy light or Iron City, sitting there with the summer breeze and watching the Pirates on television.
Well, let me tell you what happened at the Diulis household just recently.
What'd you do?
Pops passed away, right? He had a 45-inch TV in his apartment that is no longer of use.
It's poolside.
It's poolside.
Oh, he would want that.
It's on the back of the house now, and it's a little outdoor living experience.
If I ever get your money, one of the things I want to do to my house, I got 2 things left before they come to take me across the street and put a match to me. I want to get a little bit of a kitchen redo, small, but I want to do that garage thing that people do in Western Pennsylvania. I want to paint the inside of the garage, put a TV and get a keg of Iron City, and just get some lawn chairs, flip-flops, cut-offs, a garden hose to get a little, refreshment by squirting myself off, maybe even a sip or 2 out of the garden hose, have some burgers, invite the boys over, and listen to the Pirates even on the radio or watch them on TV. To me, that's the Taj Mahal, that's Beverly Hills, that's New York.
I love that when you have a communion party or a graduation party, when the family clears out the garage so that just in case it rains, you have that extra space to go into. I love the garage communion party.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, you remember, I'll tell you, I'll never forget my first Holy Communion. I got that little, the little communion booklet, and the inside, little snap, the little pocket, and it had rosary beads.
Oh, there you go.
And we got the little statue. If you were a little boy, you got the little boy. If you were a little girl kneeling, and Jesus was like, very gingerly making like the sign of the cross above your head.
I have a candle from making our communion, but I have a little box that still has a little.
Sadly, I was so ADD, I dropped it and broke the head off of it by the time I got home.
You spend money the way you do, Rob. I think you still got a few $5 bills that say Happy Communion Robbie on them.
Listen, I really feel bad. I'm so cheap now. It's disgusting. I avoid people that I know are going to ask me for money. All right, we'll take a break. Goodwill knows me by my first name. Hey, you're here again today. I'm here to gift, and what do you got for me? All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Coming up, our man Alex Chow's now down in Maryland at Woodholm Country Club. We're going to do a twofer with him. U.S. Open and World Cup next.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
I'm doing a porch concert in Morningside today where I'm going to be singing. You want a sample?
Yes, let's go.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me.
Perfect Juneteenth
song. Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Father's Day, go big for Dad. Celebrate Father's Day with 5 courses fresh from the Wok Fire. Enjoy a 5-course celebration experience starting at $89.99, featuring premium entrees like New York prime strip steak tataki, oolong chili and sea bass, and lobster and prawn fried rice. Bold flavors, sizzling favorites, a meal made to impress. Because Dad deserves more than just a dinner. He deserves a celebration. Celebrate Father's Day with some sizzle. Only at P.F. Chang's.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
Between the daily demands of work, family needs, running a household, and more, you deserve some real relief at the end of the day. At the Original Mattress Factory, we have a wide variety of mattresses that are built to provide the ultimate in comfort and relief when you need it most. Mattresses that are hand-built locally using high-quality materials. Mattresses that are sold factory direct to offer you a great value. Mattresses that are designed to provide real relief to real people like you. Visit an Original Mattress Factory location today and get the rest you deserve tonight.
I'm pediatric allergist Dr. Carla Davis. If your child has asthma, let's take a breath together and talk about it. Does your child need to use a quick relief inhaler or a breathing treatment more than twice a week to treat asthma? Has your child repeatedly awakened at night due to coughing, wheezing, or shortness of breath? Have you taken your child to the emergency room, urgent care, or hospital for asthma symptoms? Has your child missed school because of asthma? If you said yes to any of these questions, it's time to talk to an allergy and asthma specialist like me, who understands how difficult and frustrating it is to see your child struggle with asthma every single day. The good news is there are new ways and new medications to help you and your child take control of asthma and live an active life. If you feel your child's asthma is not under control, go to controlyourasthma.org.
Now more than ever, we're the station you can trust for the information you need. KDKA. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 74 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 12 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. At least 2 people were injured, one in critical condition after a crash this morning in Apollo, Armstrong County. One of the people injured was trapped inside their vehicle. Multiple agencies assisted in removing that person from the vehicle. Right now, it's still unclear how many vehicles were involved in that crash and exactly how many people were involved. Crash is under investigation. No injuries reported in a house fire in Westmoreland County. This fire happened Saturday afternoon around 3:30 in the 2000 block of Kenneth Avenue in Arnold. It took about 45 minutes for firefighters from Westmoreland and Allegheny counties to get the fire under control. Authorities say the home was recently vacated. Cause of the fire under investigation. Allegheny County Police say a man died after being stabbed multiple times Saturday afternoon in Jefferson Hills. The incident occurred in the 100 block of Arnone Drive. Initial reports to 911 around 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon was that the man was shot, but it was determined that was not the case. He's been identified now as 69-year-old Alhaji Buhari, who died after being stabbed multiple times. It's unclear what led to the stabbing. Well, Vice President J.D. Vance arriving in Switzerland for the first high-level direct talks between the U.S. and Iran. Meanwhile, fighting in Lebanon continues to threaten the negotiations. Here's ABC News foreign correspondent Britt Clinett in Israel.
With the fighting in southern Lebanon escalating, Iran announcing on Saturday that it's shut the Strait of Hormuz, citing the strikes and the blatant breach and violation by the United States of the first clause of the ceasefire agreement, which calls for fighting to end on all fronts. But the U.S. is denying the claim that Iran is in control of the strait.
Pittsburgh's Southside Street Fest officially began Saturday night. Private event allows for those 21 and up to only to enter at checkpoints on East Carson and 12th Street and East Carson at 18th Street between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Metal detectors were in place at those entrances. A number of vendors and businesses set up shop along East Carson inside the Street Fest. Now, the idea for the Street Fest came after some Southside residents were concerned about the Southside's reputation for chaotic weekends and violence. Street Fest is expected to occur Friday and Saturday nights throughout the summer. KDKA Radio News Time, it's 12:03. AccuWeather forecast next.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh potty repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for 26 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
Join Allegheny County for the Summer Concert Series with free live music all season long at Harwood Acres and South Park amphitheaters. Bring a blanket, bring your friends, and come hungry. Local food trucks, Black Dog Winery, and Hop Farm Brewing Company will be on site starting at 6 p.m. Concerts kick off at 7:30. No tickets, no cost, just great music and even better vibes. Your summer soundtrack starts here. Visit AlleghenyCounty.us/summer for the full lineup.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-746-3737. That's 800-746-3737. 800-746-3737.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds and sun this afternoon, high in the upper 70s. We'll have some rain and a thunderstorm late tonight, low 61. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, a few showers and a thunderstorm, high 74. Then less humid Tuesday, partly sunny, high 77. For AccuWeather, I'm John Feerick, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
It's sports down and dirty, Pittsburgh style. It's the Black and Gold Sunday Show on News Radio KDKA. Presented by Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition. And brought to you by Leon's Billiards and more.
All right, so, your Pratt Pack, I had to punt because that incredibly talented soccer coach, the women's soccer coach at Geneva, who's done such a great job, had to leave town for Father's Day to pay tribute to his dad and his father-in-law. His name is Mike Fitz. He'll be back with me live, Facebook, Coons Market, Thursday, and back with us hopefully next week in this time slot. But I'm thinking, who can I get? And I don't want to reach out to a lot of the folks that are in the college ranks or professional ranks because it's Father's Day, but I thought, who might be working today because he's in the business of sports, like golf or tennis? I thought of Alex Childs, former guy for 17 years at the Fox Chapel Golf Club, but now he's taken his talent to Maryland, to Woodholm Country Club, and he's a triple threat. He can do a little tennis, he can do a little soccer, he can do a little golf. So no matter how you say Alex Childs, he's a winner, and we're happy to have him back. And I know you miss Pittsburgh a little bit, but tell me about your new home and these new digs. Give the audience a little bit of the flavor of the Woodholm Country Club, and happy Father's Day, Alex.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, too. Thanks for having me. No, Woodholm's it's a 1927 Herbert Strong design. Herbert Strong was one of the original founders of the PGA of America. He designed some other notable courses, Canterbury in Cleveland, Saucon Valley in Bethlehem, PA. He was most noticed for his playing, but he did do the architecture sort of in that great era of the 20s that had Seth Rayner, like at Fox Chapel, and some of the other Shinnecock and so forth. So very exciting. It's a big property, small membership. Very happy to be here. So far, the weather's been terrific. So we're excited to be in Baltimore.
All right, before we get to the U.S. Open being played at Shinnecock, Wyndham Clark has a 6-stroke lead. And in that group at 1 under right now, we have got Scotty Scheffler, world's number 1. Let's talk about Team USA, already clinching Group D and a spot in the round of 32, Santa Clara, July 1st. But they're going to be playing this June 25th. They have an opponent as well scheduled. We'll kind of go through some of the matches of today. But overall thoughts, Team USA, really a lot of people are starting to believe as the World Cup continues. And obviously you being a fan of soccer, your thoughts. Go ahead, Alex.
Well, I think it's a little bit of a surprise. I'm not sure everyone knew that they were going to play to this level, especially that first game, which really sort of catapulted them to really even play better than in the most previous match. And Pulisic hasn't even played really, other than that first round. So they're waiting for him to play. So the momentum's good, and I think once you get into that round of 32. Anything can happen, and the draw really makes a big difference. As you saw, Spain, in that first match, they ended in a draw, which nobody expected. So it's very good that they started so quickly, and it certainly makes up for the 94 opening when everybody was so excited but disappointed with those results, unfortunately.
First time they've won 2 straight since 1930 in the World Cup. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, it's interesting, Alex. You mentioned that Pulisic hasn't had an opportunity other than the first half, and with a calf injury, you never know for sure what's going to come of that. But when they have such dominating performance for 3 of the halves out of the 4 halves that have gone on so far, to get him back, unless it fools with the chemistry, they should be really looked at now as more of a favorite than they ever had been.
Well, I think so, and I like with this, I saw a note that the coach had won these 2 games, and that's the most anyone's ever won as a coach. So we're really starting from ground zero. So again, it's been a long time coming. My generation, soccer was supposed to be the up and coming sport, and in the 90s it was certainly active, but nothing like this with the MLS and everybody really paying attention to the Champions League and that being broadcasted all through the news. So it's a different era, and those players are obviously top level and competing at that level and know what it takes. And like I said, these are things where I watched last night in Ecuador, and Ecuador must have had 20 shots on goal and was still tied 0-0. So you just don't know. You don't know.
So I got to ask you guys a question. This may be more of a commentary on my educational history and background, which I thought was pretty solid. But apparently we've discovered a new country that's called Turkey. Yeah. Where did this come from?
I felt like the same. I felt the same way. I didn't pay close enough attention to how everybody qualified and so forth. I'm just hopeful that they can get through without injuries and then get going in that round of 32.
Yeah, that's not right next to Yippee-yi-yo.
Yeah.
I know. Listen, I love it, and we've had a lot of people like Alex today helping us make sense of it all. So yesterday, Netherlands 5, Sweden 1, Germany over the Ivory Coast 2-1. And yesterday, you mentioned Ecuador. They drew with Curacao, which was a big boost for Curacao. And Japan defeated Tanzania by a score of 4-0. Today, Spain, Saudi Arabia, Belgium, Iran, Uruguay, and Cape Verde, and New Zealand and Egypt. Quickly, before we get to the U.S. Open, some of the matches for today. Your thoughts, Alex?
Well, I think, again, we're going to see how Spain does. It was very they're one of the favorites, so I think that everybody felt like they were going to win that first match. So they're definitely going to bring it to make sure that they don't have any stress. I know Ecuador was having quite a bit of stress because they had to win to keep moving. And then Japan's also considered one of the favorites or dark horses, and so they've been playing well. And if it continues, that's another team I would be looking for to get past the round of 32 and sort of into that round of 8, where then anything can go for each of the teams.
All right, here's a question from an admitted uneducated eye. I'm watching Messi in the first game that they played. Right, he scores a goal like real early in the game that they called him offsides. But he was offside by a half a foot, but he was offsides. Then he scores 3 more after that. When I watch him, I don't see that much of a difference between him and the guy standing next to him, but yet every time the ball hits his foot, it goes in the net. He's amazing, Alex, the way that he's able to generate whatever he does, because he doesn't stand out athletically. He's not faster than the next guy. He's not taller than anybody else. There's nothing that really seems to differentiate him other than the fact that the ball seems to follow him and he's always putting it in the back of the net.
Well, I think, if I'm trying to draw a comparison in some other sports, and one would, the top of my mind would be someone like Larry Bird, where they were in the position before people knew they were supposed to be where they're going to be. He seems to be every time receiving the ball in the right spot, and then he's unbelievable in terms of passing, and he seems to have this innate ability to know exactly where to put it, and that's the separation. I mean, he's really spectacular mentally in terms of being prepared and where he needs to be. I mean, this is his 6th World Cup. I mean, he's not a young guy. Mm-hmm. So for him to master that type of situation, really shows a lot about his mental aptitude and understanding the game and what position really means.
All right, let's get on to the U.S. Open while we have a couple more minutes here with Alex Childs, who is working now at Woodhome Country Club in Maryland. So we got Wyndham Clark with 7 under and a 6-stroke lead. Obviously, it's a commanding lead. Do you change your strategy and play conservative, or do you just put pedal to the metal? Your thoughts. Go ahead.
Well, I think, the best and worst news is that he's playing with Scottie Scheffler. So I think that's the person that I would be most worried about or most concerned with. I don't think he would be. He's played with them before. He's actually won the event in Texas, and I think they were paired together. So I don't think he's intimidated, but I think that's the type of player that can come from far behind and sort of put an alarm into your system where you're not sure what's going on, and he's going to have sort of witness to it. He's a tremendous player, and the only thing I can say, and this is just an observation, that he made a lot of putts yesterday. Scottie Scheffler has not made many. He's noteworthy for how good of a short putter he is, and Scottie Scheffler has not made them. If that's the turn, today is his turn and Wyndham Clark isn't, then I think you could see something really spectacular. But it seems like Wyndham Clark has everything under control, like he did at LA Country Club, and has figured out all of his issues. He obviously is noteworthy in Pennsylvania for his behavior at Oakmont, and seems to have fixed all of those issues.
Alex, you mentioned the word turn. Using the word turn in a different fashion, the turn at Shinnecock is similar in my mind to Amen Corner at Augusta, where that's going to be probably the key to this round. If he's still got a 4 or 5 stroke lead, getting through 10, 11, 12 or 9, 10, 11, 12 probably is going to be the decision maker, and those are very difficult holes. We saw Sam Burns get eaten up yesterday on those in that area.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think that, the first couple holes always is something because everyone's getting started. But I think at that point, if he has a big enough lead, it would probably likely make him change a little bit of his way of playing. 10's playing so difficult. People are, hitting it within 40 yards and can't keep it on the green. So there has to be some part where he's going to think, I don't really need to do something, or I should hit a different shot. Whether I make a bogey or not is better than what the alternative is. McIlroy, I think, has had like 2 doubles on 10, and he's been as close as 37 yards. So, I think those are the things, and that's why I mentioned, I think it's good that he's with Scheffler, because I think Scheffler's the kind of guy that, as you saw yesterday, he can chip in from anywhere. He can be the best iron player in the world. He can be the best putter in the world. I mean, he's that kind of player.
One of the things about this course, guys, that is interesting that I don't think you get the real perspective of it is how hilly, and how there are several fairways where if you can take advantage of that downslope, you can get balls that just run forever, and they kind of tend to get to a collection area where a lot of drives end up landing, but you can really take advantage, and you almost have to position your tee shots to hit and run.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's very interesting, and it's well done as far as sort of being in that link-style golf course with the weather over, very close to the Atlantic and all of those things. And really, hitting the right spots becomes the thing at the U.S. Open, and then being able to position yourself really to make pars, to hit it to the big part of the green and then make a two-putt. You just can't, it's just really hard to land in a spot and hope that it just stays there and not moves. It's just and I think it's getting drier. I think what I've heard is the wind's going to be down a little bit. They've done some syringing on the green, so it shouldn't be soft. It should be exciting.
All right, Alex, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. May reach out a little bit for the World Cup if I need you, but if not, just know how grateful I am for you coming on today, okay?
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for thinking of me. Have a good one.
You bet. Listen, watching the Golf Channel, I like to catch up late at night. That panoramic view of Shinnecock.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't
it?
Oh,
my goodness gracious. Absolutely breathtaking.
It was nice to have Alex with us with his Uncle Paul having played for the Pittsburgh Spirit and been such a soccer legend around the Pittsburgh area.
My hero. That's another one of those diolisms, but I'll take it. Paul Child had the greatest hairdo.
Oh, didn't he have the flowing locks of curls?
He did. All right, short break. We'll come back. Anybody else wants to jump in here? 866-391-1020. But we've got Ted at the bottom of the hour. NFL takes us to the top of the hour on this Father's Day edition of the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show.
Now more than ever, we're the station you can trust for the information you need. KDKA.
Here's a World Soccer Championship recap.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's, and by the first ever Infiniti QX65. Sweden was on the receiving end of a 5-1 rout at the hands of the Netherlands. Braces from Brian Brobby and Cody Gakpo were enough to keep the Dutch at the top of Group F, but they're not alone on the top, as Japan beat Tunisia 4-0 in the late game, eliminating them from the tournament. The final match day on Thursday will determine who wins Group F, along with those who will move on. I'm Fernando Carlos.
Hey folks, my friends at NASCO Roofing take pride in exceeding customer expectations. Joe from Pittsburgh loved the excellent work NASCO did on replacing his roof and gutters. It was a big job that NASCO completed in just 2 days with excellent attention to every detail. Joe was also impressed with NASCO's cleanup that left his home spotless. NASCO has thousands of customers that are satisfied like Joe. Get NASCO on your roof. Call NASCO 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000. Special financing available. NASCO Roofing. NASCO.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work. And they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight, brought to you by the first ever Infiniti QX65 and by Lowe's. Give your yard its own moment with the new limited time deals from Lowe's.
England carries genuine expectations this time. A composed striker leads a squad packed with Premier League talent. The three Lions are well organized, physical in midfield, and lethal from set pieces.
In 1945, my grandparents made sausage using the finest ingredients and a lot of love. I'm Ernie Ritchie. After 80 years, the recipe never changed. Visit our store and celebrate our 80th anniversary. Ritchie's Italian Sausage. It's what Pittsburgh eats since 1945.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
It's the Black and Gold Sunday Show on News Radio KDKA. Presented by Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
All right, I could go for some of that Richie's Italian sausage right now for Father's Day.
Ooh, I got mine at Coons that's in the crock pot right now, but it's not Richie's.
That's okay because that's as good. That's Frank, as in Joe and Tommy's father's recipe.
Ah.
So Frank, the other Frank, in an Italian family, the son always names his first son after his father's name.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So Joe named his son Frank after his father, Frank.
Okay, so it skips a generation.
Exactly. Exactly what my dad said when he gave me his toolbox. I said, Dad, I can't fix anything. He says, hang on to it. Give it to your sons because talent skips a generation. He did tell me.
Twins. Yeah. Twins skip generations, too.
Really?
Yeah, people that have twins every other generation. There's twins.
Listen, I'm talking to my buddy the other day, Danny Nahas. Love the guy. Got a pizza shop, helping him out, doing a little free love video-wise. And I've known his brother for the longest time, this and that, but I never knew until not too long ago, even though, Dan, if you're listening, I did say I knew, but I didn't. It's his twin brother. It's really incredible. I have twin sisters. It really is amazing when you think of twins and how their mirror image, meaning one's right-handed, one's left-handed. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Here's JD in the North Hills. JD, how are you? Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Morning, Rob. Morning, Greg. Yeah, happy Father's Day to you guys. Talk about twins. I know a set of twins myself personally, the Currens, however, from Pine Richland, however. In fact, their dad, however, played at North Hills, however, believe it or not, and the boys played at Pine Richland. One of them actually is a rugby player now, and the one hopefully will be starting for the University of Pittsburgh on the offensive line this year.
So, hey, JD, before you go any further, first off, we are now in the afternoon. I've been here since very early this morning, so it is good afternoon to JD. But I got to ask you, what's the word on the street about Mr. Kasparovich coming back to North Hills? Pretty exciting, huh?
Very exciting. I was with my brother-in-law and my sister and my nieces today for Father's Day. It was a very special day. It was also my mom's birthday on Tuesday, and, of course, it was their anniversary last week. But, yeah, he's been working these kids hard as early as 6:30 in the morning, however, for the past week or so. And enthusiasm is definitely at an all-time high here in North Hills right now. And speaking of which, I will plug this for you guys. July 29th, however, North Hills football golf outing, Wildwood Golf Club. However, if you can get a foursome together, try your best. It's like $100 or whatever, but it includes lunch, cash prizes, dinner, longest putt, longest drive. It's going to be a good time, Howard, so you might want to check that out.
All right, what else is on your mind? Go ahead.
Well, let's talk about the Pirates. I mean, do we think Ben Cherington's on the hot seat right now? Because I think right now it seems that seat is starting to get more than scalding hot right now, the way things are going right now.
JD, I can't imagine that there would be a hotter seat in North America than what he's the throne upon which he rests. Now, it looked like he had bailed himself out with the hot start that the team got, and he invested wisely in much of his guys, other than Ozuna, who is killing him. If Ozuna could do anything, that would save his job, would save everything. That's the one bad investment, but you got to love the O'Hearn investment. You got to love the trade for the O'Hearn investment, the trade for Lau. Doing those things, they all looked good. I think he waited too long to pull the trigger on this catching situation. He should have just started with Flores and Endy and let the other two guys languish somewhere else. And that was I was advocating that back in spring training, that it should have been the young guys, not Davis and Paul Blart the Mall Cop that were brought up here. They did the wrong thing with their catching duel.
Yeah, I agree. The catching situation has been very, very shaky. And the pitching, the middle relief is just not the answer. I like Soto, but Dennis Santana has got to go. They've got to bring Uruguay back from Indy, I feel. Right now, Skeens has had no luck whatsoever. That was a fluke last night as it was the night before. But again, you can't, for the second night in a row, leave the bases stacked like that. It's inexcusable. And we got Jones pitching today. Hopefully they can at least get one win. But you got Seattle and the Reds coming in on this next homestand. If you don't turn it around fast, I think Don Kelly's also on the hot seat too. I think he might be on his way out the door.
JD, what do you think about making Majinski more of a multiple day type of reliever instead of one of these guys that's just going to back end games for other pitchers?
I think Cam would be the perfect person because I think he can give you at least middle relief, however, and that would spell for Dotel and all those guys, Howard. Right now the bullpen is the weakest part of our game. You still got Chandler who's trying to turn it around a little bit. Ashcraft I've been impressed with since the beginning. Keller is like Skeens right now. I thought Skeens was going to have a bust-out year. Keller is the same way, but both of them are up and down. You don't know what to expect out of either one.
JD, you're the best. Tell your dad Happy Father's Day and a belated happy birthday to your mom. We appreciate you, okay?
I will. You guys definitely try to make that out in late July if you can at Wildwood. Like I said, I'll try to keep plugging it for you guys over the next few weeks. But it's July 29th, Wildwood Golf Club. It's the North Hills football outing, the first outing, however. And like I said, Eric will be there. How a lot of the North Hills past and present names like Jim Cassandro, Seamus Murphy are among them. I got a group playing in the foursome. I will be playing myself. I'm looking forward to playing.
Hey, JD, reach out to me individually on that. I might try to get a group together.
JD should have been my manager. That guy can promote. I love that kid. Good family. Short break. He's a good guy, too. Greg Dailos along with Ted Arnaud. We're talking the National Football League moments away on KDKA Pittsburgh. Good afternoon.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. Lendseek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now, you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page or by clicking on KDKA.radio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 75 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 12:30. I'm Rob Taylor. At least 2 people were injured, one in critical condition after a crash this morning in Apollo, Armstrong County. One of the people injured was trapped inside their vehicle. Multiple agencies assisted in removing that person from the vehicle. Right now, it's unclear how many vehicles were involved and how many people were involved in this crash. It's currently under investigation. And no injuries were reported in a house fire in Westmoreland County. It happened in Arnold in the 2000 block of Kenneth Avenue around 3:30 Saturday afternoon. It took about 45 minutes for firefighters from both Westmoreland and Allegheny counties to get the fire under control. Authorities say no one was at the home. It was recently vacated. Cause of the fire under investigation. KDK Radio News Time, 12:31. Coming up, our next update at 1. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDK.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
From weddings to office events, let Jimmy Wands handle the menu. Enjoy full-service catering, takeout, or free delivery for your next big celebration. Bold flavors and deliciously convenient options from their family to yours. Jimmy Wands Restaurant and Lounge.
It's back in the heart of downtown Pittsburgh. Rock, Reggae, and Relief returns Saturday, August 8th, featuring UB40, Allie Campbell, G-Love, and more. Enjoy summer vibes while supporting Cafe Momentum. Get your tickets today at rockreggaerelief.com. It's the weekly program that keeps you current with the latest travel trends and vacation values. Listen to AAA's Talking Travel every Saturday morning at 11 on KDKA Radio.
Details at kdkaradio.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Partly sunny this afternoon, the high 77. Mostly cloudy tonight with rain and a thunderstorm later on, low 61. Mostly cloudy, humid tomorrow. A few showers and a thunderstorm, high 74. And then lower humidity Tuesday, high 77. For AccuWeather, I'm John Feerick, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us Monday on the Big K Morning Show, 5:30 until 10. Lenny McAllister will join me in our 8 o'clock hour, plus our first full week of summer. What can you do in the Berg? We'll tell you.
All right, here he is, the champion of all champion fathers, my hero, Mr. Ted Arnaud. Ted, how are you? And happy Father's Day, sir.
Happy Father's Day to you guys and to all people out there. It's a great day.
Best advice your dad ever gave you. Go ahead.
Told me that never assume anything. Whenever you're playing football, go up to the coach and say, Coach, tell me who to hit and tell me what jersey to wear.
There you go. And Greg, obviously, still reeling, his family recently losing his father, Sonny, who we think about often, especially because of being Father's Day and him gone in just the last few days. So best advice he ever gave you. I'm sure he gave you a lot of advice, but the best, or maybe one of the best.
Swing hard in case you hit it.
Really?
That was... I always remember that. Swing hard in case you hit it.
Well, I said this earlier today, and he said it with affection because he could never get a word in edgewise, and he had 5 daughters at dinner more times than not. The best advice my dad ever gave me, and I have learned to do that, especially when I'm at a dinner party. Shut up and eat. That's what he would just say. Shut up and eat. So, Dad, I will shut up later, and I will make sure that I get something to eat. You know, being a father in 2026, and I say this with the utmost respect, it's so much more, I don't know, hands-free. When I was growing up, my dad, it was just, he wasn't worried, politically correct, whatever. You could be in the middle of high mass, at Latin mass, going to communion, and if you went into the wrong aisle or row, he would simply reach up out of that pew and snatch you by your shirt and drag you back. And it didn't matter. People were trying to pray. He'd go, pay attention. Watch where you're going. Don't do it again. And then he'd shove you right back out into the crowd. They just, that's who they were. And not that they didn't love you, but they just were so different back then.
Hey, Ted, we were at a banquet this week with Rob's buddy Gino DeMarco, and he said that he can't wait to get to heaven because his dad won't beat him up in heaven.
I'm not sure of that.
And listen, Gino's dad was a minister, so that just goes to tell you. But there was, listen, it's all good. Nothing like being a father. It's a really, really special thing, and I'm glad to be one. Greatest gift I've ever been given. All right, Teddy, what gift are we going to be given with this Pittsburgh Steelers team? Here's the most intriguing thing of the week, and I'll start it off. Baltimore, contract negotiations with Lamar Jackson, new regime, and it's not just me. It's people who really know football. They're saying if they don't get this whatever done with him, it may not be after this year with this window closing. They may deal Lamar Jackson this year.
Well, you know, we've talked about this often that you get only so many trips on the merry-go-round to grab the ring. And if you keep missing the ring, all of a sudden your importance or probability of getting that ring get diminished, and that may be what Baltimore's looking at right now.
Hey, Ted, you think about it. In the history of the Baltimore Ravens, who was a better quarterback, Joe Flacco or Lamar Jackson?
Well, just look at the rings on the hand.
Yeah, I know, and that's your boy I'm talking about right there.
I know.
I don't know how he did it. There had to be smoke and mirrors and David Copperfield and somebody else involved in that whole thing, because how he won a Super Bowl is beyond me.
Hey, he's still playing at about 94 years old. What the hell?
That's
I mean,
amazing.
He's got to have something.
But, guys, talk about a stroke of luck. Imagine if we go into this season with the very fragile Joe Burrows and Myles Garrett out of the conference and Lamar Jackson out of the conference. I mean, That would be like unprecedented to see something like that. And whether you like it or not, you got to kind of make maybe the Steelers the favorite if that would happen. And I still don't think they're going to be as bad as one thinks. Now, this is the other big story, and I want in-depth from both of you. You being an agent, Ted being a guy of business, done it all. Sorsby, Texas Tech, he has declared for the supplemental draft. And they said, if you don't think that'll happen, you can place a bet wherever you can make a legal sportsbook bet because it is going to happen. 9,000 different events that he bet on. And they say he's a good kid, like I told you last week. His agent said he goes to church every Sunday. It's official. He's going, and many people are thinking that maybe the Steelers might be in hot pursuit. Let's get back to the big story that continues to be the lead story in the National Football League. Greg.
Well, first of all, if we think that he's the only person that has placed a number of bets that has played football in the NCAA, then we're the naive ones, not the rest of the world. However, he was actually betting on his own team and against his own team, if I'm not mistaken. So that to me is the ultimate no-no, and I don't know how you can just overlook that process, especially if you look at addiction and histories of addiction and relapses and whether rehabilitation works and whether it usually doesn't work the first time around and that type of thing. Now, I don't know if gambling addiction is the same as substance abuse addiction, but I think you got to have a really tight leash on a guy like that. And of course, he would be monitored, but Ted, it would be a hard chore to take a chance on a guy like that.
Well, Rob said that he goes to Mass on Sunday. I can't tell you how many guys I went to Mass with on Sunday who would excuse themselves at some point in time during the service to go place a bet down that Joey Bag of Donuts shop down the way. And they were all in church, and they all knew Latin. Actually, they knew Italian, but whatever.
But here's the thing. If he had the money to cover the bets, I know people who bet really bad and heavy and often and win and lose. But if you have the money, is it an addiction?
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course it is.
Okay. I'm just
It's an
asking.
addiction, and when you say it's not like drugs, it that you go through some of the same counseling treatments for gambling addiction as you do for substance addiction. It's a psychological issue, and sometimes people can do it and keep control. As we always used to say, be careful with your bets for entertainment purposes. Of course, that's flown out the window a long time ago.
Yep.
But it can very much be a similar addiction.
All right, so let me ask you this then. And I tried to reach out to you the other night when I was on the air, but obviously I think you were in the air flying. Skilled games, they're saying now they are legal slot machines, so the state wants their cash. Teddy, I'll be honest with you. I love the brick and mortar, the casinos. I'm not a fan of these skill games. I'm trying to get a cup of coffee or buy a lottery, and I got to walk around 20 people who've been there all day in these gas stations or convenience stores playing these skilled games. I want to get your thoughts on that while we're on the topic, and then we'll get back to some Steelers stuff. Go ahead.
Well, skill games, schmill games. That's what I say. It's all bull. I mean, they used to say the slot machines, as long as you weren't, they were poker, or some kind of other card device. But they're all based on algorithms, and those algorithms determine whether or not they're winners and losers. They just want the money. Just be honest and say, we want the money. Kind of like in Goodfellas, you win, pay me the money. You lose, pay me the money.
I'm going to come to that bank, and if you don't have my money,
pay me.
While we're on the topic of money, something I saw from Shannon Sharp, who I am a fan of. Let me just read a paragraph and you two jump in. NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp believes athletes who go broke after signing massive contracts have only themselves to blame, arguing the proper financial management should make long-term wealth preserve. And he said that he pointed to the earning of a $100 million contract, explaining that even after taxes, athletes should still have enough money to generate substantial income through investments. A $100 million contract, I think everybody understands. Nobody gets $100 million of that. If you live in a tax-free state, let's say the high end, you're paying 37% federal income tax. You got $60 million in liquid cash. Theoretically, if you put it in a fund, you're going to get 5 to 8%. So even if you're just getting 5 on $60 million, that's $3 million a year. And if you can't live off $3 million a year, you have issues. You say, Greg?
Well, nobody's going to mistake him for being Einstein for coming up with that statement. I mean, no kidding. That makes sense. But that's where lottery winners all go. A lot of lottery winners go broke because you have more influences on you when you become notorious for having all of that wealth, and everybody wants a chunk of you. And you start to believe, well, this guy, I can afford to give him $100,000. He needs it. He's broke, whatever. And then all of a sudden, your millions are diminished, and now you don't have enough money in the bank to start creating interest. Now you start, living off of your principal and not off of your interest, and all of a sudden, you're in bad shape.
The man who's a CPA, and not to mention an entrepreneur, Ted Arnaud, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's the numbers sound good. 100 million, 40 million in taxes. Of course, you got to pay different tax rates in every state you play in. It gets they try and make it as complicated as they can for these guys, but you still get a good financial manager. You should be okay, except for the hangers-on. The hangers-on are that little faction that deplete your after-tax profits for things that never will make a profit. And they are almost drawn to these guys, young guys with money, and they're like leeches, and they don't go away.
You know what Ted told me years ago that I think about often? Players only like you when you're playing. Right, Teddy?
That's right.
Never forgot that. All right, one quick Steeler question, then we'll come back, and it's all NFL to the top of the hour. All right. Cam Hayward, a lot of mileage on that career. Training camp's going to be critical for the rotation aspect of that defensive line. Will Benton be the guy, do you think, Greg?
No.
Harmon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's your first-round pick. I mean, it better be the guy.
Is he going to be healthy, knees good, ready to go?
Well, who knows? I mean, he weighs 473 pounds. His knees are not going to be good for long.
How much does he weigh?
I'm kidding. I mean, he's a bigger man, so your knees tend to wear out.
So how much can we expect out of Cam Hayward this year, Teddy?
Well, you're going to get probably the same you got out of him last year, which was awesome. You get more out of Cam Hayward than the reps that he has on the field. You get his leadership. You get a lot of other things. But I don't think he'll have a decrease in reps compared to what he did last year. I think he'll show up in shape. He'll show up ready to play the same number of snaps.
Do we have a contract issue with him again this year, or is he already signed up?
I thought he just signed for 1
year
last year.
I did too.
So
why is he still in the locker room? Do we still have to get him signed?
Don't know. Hey, does the fact of the matter that this is still the highest paid defense in the league, does that worry you at all as far as the future is concerned?
Now, football, because the cap is there. I mean, you're not overextended one way or the other. You have a lot of money in your defense, but that's sustainable.
Teddy, quickly before the break, your thoughts.
I'm worried that we don't have enough money on our offense. That's that.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about too much for the defense.
Okay, we're going to pick it up on the offense as far as running back depth when we get back. Ted Arnaud, as he always does, even during the offseason, we're talking the National Football League on this Father's Day edition of the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.
Hey, this is Calvin.
And Sam.
With Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks.
We're looking for experienced deck builders and lead carpenters who want to build high-end outdoor spaces without all the headaches. We specialize in premium decks, covered porch roofs, outdoor living spaces, and custom exterior projects. These are the kind of jobs that you'll actually be proud to put your name on.
And we pay fast.
Apply today at callthecousins.com/careers.
That's callthecousins.com/careers.
Call the Cousins.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Bruce, Bruce, Bruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
It's the Black and Gold Sunday Show on News Radio KDKA. Presented by Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
All right, Ricardo Dowdle, what does he give us as we're back on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show? Running back depth. Greg, go ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly what it gives you is running back depth. You kind of hope that that's not going to be the key to it. The guy that I'm looking for at running back to maybe make a difference is the Caleb Johnson kid from Iowa, Ted, that was a third-round pick a year ago that really didn't do anything, but kind of got himself in the doghouse when he mishandled or misjudged the kickoff that went over his head, and he didn't realize he needed to get on it, and he never was able to recover from that. I think you got a new coaching staff in there to take a look at him, and hopefully you can get something out of a third-round pick from not that long ago.
I think he's a good running back. I mean, that was a terrible, terrible play, but he wasn't a special teams guy.
Right.
I mean, he was a running back they put back there to be, and there's a lot of skills involved in that. And they got a couple of guys coming in right now who I don't know if they're going to make the team, but they're much more skilled at that than he was. But I think he's got a real strong chance of being the third back. There'll probably be 4. I don't know. The fourth one is going to have to be a special teams kind of guy.
Well, the fourth one, and there's a lot of talk back and forth about that, but remember the 7th-round pick, the Mount Lebanon High School kid that went to the Naval Academy, Eli Heidenreich, who, from all reports...
Yeah, McCarthy likes him.
Yeah, everybody thought that he was kind of like the star of the mini camp and OTA session that has just ended. So it really could be an exciting guy to watch, especially, give us a little bit more reason other than the quarterbacks in the preseason games. For a change, Teddy, this might be an interesting set of preseason games.
I think it will be. I like Heidenreich. I think, he's got so much for the Steelers going for him. Pittsburgh, Navy. He's a good special teams player. He's decent as a running back and a short receiver. So I think he's got a real good shot. That Weichen that's out there also, he's a good special teams guy. Don't know that he's that great receiver. I like Heidenreich.
There was a running back that had a little bit of a military history that made a name for himself and is still kind of a legend in the area and still in the media every once in a while, and that's Rocky Blyer. And
boy, was he. What a great guy. He just super.
I'm sorry, Ted, I stepped on you there.
No, what a super guy.
Yeah, and Eli won't remind you of Rocky because he's probably a much better athlete than Rocky was, but he gives you all of those other intangibles, the quality of character and the ability and the willingness to try hard and do whatever somebody asks him to do.
I mean,
coming out. Oh, I'm sorry,
That's
coming
okay.
out to play football when he did with a name like Rocky, you couldn't beat it at that time.
Yeah, played at Notre Dame. Great story, obviously.
Yeah.
A good movie, too, with Robert Urich.
Yeah, from Toronto, Ohio.
I did not know that.
Yes, absolutely. All right, listen.
Do you need a passport to go to Toronto, Ohio?
I've been to Toronto, Ohio a couple of times. I was lucky to get out of there.
Have you tried to cross the bridge in Steubenville lately?
Yeah,
You
don't
can't
come
get
back.
there.
Don't come back, Pratt. We told you, get out of here. But
Hey, they still have that privately owned bridge down in that area that you have to pay 50 cents
sure,
to.
of course they do. Yeah, well, it's not 50 cents anymore. I think it's over $1 now.
Holy moly!
I got to tell you, Mingo Junction, Weirton, Toronto, Steubenville. I love it down there, man. It's really a special, special place. And, you think of Dean Martin and Jimmy the Greek, those guys from down there. Gus Manessas, Gus's Goodies. Good people, man. Good people. Teddy, I can only think of what that place was like on Friday night when that mill was booming. When, I mean, come on.
Yeah, there were a lot of lights shining in the top floors of a lot of the buildings in Steubenville.
Oh, Steubenville's a thriving metropolis. I mean, especially back in the day, man. They used to have a place, St. John Arena, that I would go do basketball at. the old sunken court gymnasium.
Right. Yep.
Oh man,
Yep.
it was. That's when we played tournament basketball. It was a thrill a minute. And Big Red, we would when I was with East Liverpool, we would play Big Red in Steubenville Central Catholic, and man, it was wall to wall people.
Rob, was that Belair St. John? Is that their arena? Is that what you're talking about? Belair?
No,
Okay.
no. But Belair would play there.
Oh, okay.
They would play there. We have some really good memories there. All right, a couple of other things with the Steelers. Ken, you're a guy, and we talked about this last week a little bit, so I did a little bit more research. What has made Roman Wilson basically having a chance to sit at the table a little bit longer when I thought he was going to be packing up, Teddy?
I think speed. I think in toughness. He's a tough football player. I think that's going to be kind of the theme that you're going to see with the Steelers this year. Is going to be a lot of the players that may have won out a position over another. It had to do with their toughness.
Well, I think, Ted, also, when you look at this, some of these guys who were drafted not that long ago and drafted fairly highly, and you get a new coaching staff's perspective coming in and evaluating them. You got the new offensive coordinator in Brian Angelico, who's going to come in with a different set of eyes to look at these guys and maybe not be jaundiced by having had some bad experiences or bad plays that had gone through. So maybe they're just coming in with a clean slate and just looking at talent for talent, and that could help a guy like Roman Wilson because he certainly has the talent. It's just trying to draw it out of him.
I agree. I think he's a good football player. I think he's going to have a spot. I think he may have some really, really good plays this year.
How about the other story trending this week involving another former Steeler? Really sad. One of my favorites, Plexico Burress, actually sold one of his Super Bowl rings for a couple of $100,000. We were talking about athletes earlier. And there's been a lot of great ones with the Steelers, and obviously he went on to play for the Giants. But Plexico Burress, as we like to say in the business, was the real deal.
Was he in the article that you had just read about Shannon Sharp?
But that's what made me think about it. I mean, he was a stud, man. He was a great football player. And then obviously the nightclub incident and shot himself and just really, really sad stuff. All right, before we get out of here, $22.5 million for Aaron Rodgers. A lot of people are saying that could really come back to hurt the Steelers. You being the agent and the crunching numbers type of guy that Ted is, let me ask you first, could that be a problem?
He could have funded an entire university's NIL program with or their revenue sharing program with just that one contract. No, that's below. Minimal. Yeah, that's low starting quarterback money. That's not going to be an issue that handcuffs them. Whether he's their starting quarterback or not. No, the contract is not an issue.
So did we get him for $10 million last year because of what could have been, and we're getting him for $22 million because of what he did last year?
I think. Go ahead, Ted.
Go ahead.
No, Ted,
I just think he's that good of a player. I mean, I think we got a deal last year. He didn't screw up. I mean, he had a couple of bad games. I think that, and with this coaching staff, with a coach that knows him, I think he's worth that much more this year.
I think it's a really good bargain compared to when you hear what Dak and all these guys are making. And Burrow. So, hey, we saved about maybe, $30 million if I can add correctly.
I also think that he kind of did himself in last year when he said I'd play for $10 million, and he wanted to look like a man of his word. And he doesn't need the money. The $20 million is not going to make or break him. He's probably worth $300 million. So, it's still $20 million would make a difference. But
Teddy, you being a dad, if somebody could say to you, whatever you want to eat today, it's your day, what would it be?
Burgers. We're doing burgers.
See,
all American food that is nothing but the best. Burgers.
Nothing but the best.
Now, Teddy, when you have your little Wilsons today, do you do it straight? Do you do it with a little mixer with it? Do you do it on the rocks? How would the Wilsons be today?
I'm a little embarrassed by that question. You can't drink Wilsons except neat.
I'm sorry.
Straight out of the bottle.
Come
on. This is America,
Listen, I was thinking about my dad.
Ask all those Scotsmen about America and drinking.
I was thinking about my dad, so I wanted to get some Crown Royal, but I'm cheap now, so I bought his other favorite when it wasn't payday, Old Crow. I woke up Monday morning, I was sitting in a bird's nest on the porch. So that's not for the faint of heart, but we miss you, Dad. To dads everywhere that are no longer with us, we always have you in our heart, especially Sonny. Ted, always a pleasure. Have a great rest of your
All
day.
right, guys, have a good one.
See you,
Happy
Teddy.
Father's Day.
There he goes, Ted Arnaud. Ted had a really cool dad, too, man. Really cool. Oh, the Harb. That's why they called it the Harb down at Mountaineer. Yeah. Well, listen, he's not with you, but he is with you.
Nah, I bought a bottle of Canadian Club yesterday. I'm going to pour him a drink with CC and water and a splash of ginger ale and sit it on the back porch at his table and just let it evaporate up to him.
Listen, Bob Dvorak, who's a great father in his own right. Happy Dad's Day, Bobby. We love you. He's right about one thing. The last thing that I would want if I was going to the chair, a burger and a bump and a beer, an iron and a shot of whiskey. There's nothing better, man. It's Pittsburgh's best. All right, enjoy. Happy Dad's Day. We'll be back all week from 6 o'clock until 10. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day. Rob Taylor coming up next with the news at 1.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or biglou.com.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Many retailers use a computer program to tell you which mattress to buy after answering a few questions. That's not how finding the right mattress works. At OMF, our associates take the time to understand your specific needs. They'll guide you through our showroom, explain the differences between models, and help you select the right mattress. No computers, no gimmicks, just personal attention and quality mattresses built locally. Visit any showroom and experience the OMF difference for yourself.
Between the daily demands of work, family needs, running a household, and more, you deserve some real relief at the end of the day. At the Original Mattress Factory, we have a wide variety of mattresses that are built to provide the ultimate in comfort and relief when you need it most. Mattresses that are hand-built locally using high-quality materials. Mattresses that are sold factory direct to offer you a great value. Mattresses that are designed to provide real relief to real people like you. Visit an Original Mattress Factory location today and get the rest you deserve tonight.
In 1945, my grandparents made sausage using the finest ingredients and a lot of love. I'm Ernie Ritchie. After 80 years, the recipe never changed. Visit our store and celebrate our 80th anniversary. Ritchie's Italian Sausage. It's what Pittsburgh eats since 1945.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 75 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 1 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. At least 2 people were injured, one in critical condition after a crash this morning in Apollo, Armstrong County. One of the people injured was trapped inside the vehicle. Multiple agencies assisted in removing that person from the vehicle. Still unclear how many vehicles were involved in the crash and exactly how many people were involved. The crash is currently under investigation. Allegheny County Police say a man died after being stabbed multiple times Saturday afternoon in Jefferson Hills. Incident occurred in 100 block of Arnone Drive. Initial reports to 911 around 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon were that the man was shot. However, it was determined that was not the case. Instead, he was stabbed multiple times. Allegheny County Medical Examiner has released the name of that victim. It was 69-year-old Alhaji Buhari. Right now, no suspect descriptions or information on what led to that stabbing. Vice President J.D. Vance arriving in Switzerland for the first high-level direct talks between the U.S. and Iran. And meanwhile, fighting in Lebanon continues to threaten the negotiations. Here's ABC News foreign correspondent Britt Clinett in Israel.
With the fighting in southern Lebanon escalating, Iran announcing on Saturday that it's shut the Strait of Hormuz, citing the strikes and the blatant breach and violation by the United States of the first clause of the ceasefire agreement, which calls for fighting to end on all fronts. But the U.S. is denying the claim that Iran is in control of the strait.
The on again, off again shutdown of part of the Parkway North is now on again. Here's News Radio KDKA's David Ballarado.
As crews work to demolish Jack's Run Bridge number 3, they'll need to fully shut down the Parkway North between Camp Horn Road and the entrance ramp for McKnight. But all last week, there were equipment issues that led to the postponement of the work. But now it's scheduled to resume, meaning nightly closures from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. starting Monday night. Saturday's closure will go until 9 a.m. Drivers will need to follow the posted detours based on where they're headed. Also, northbound drivers will have their own set of warnings. The left lane will be closed in the same area from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. A footnote, if there's any heavy rains or lightning, they can't do the demolition work. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
KDKA Radio News Time, it's 1:02. We have the AccuWeather forecast for your Sunday coming up.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwyck Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
When it comes to surgery, trust matters. At Independence Health System, our award-winning surgeons use advanced techniques and technology to deliver safe, precise, and personalized care. We offer minimally invasive options for faster recovery, smaller incisions, and less risk. From hernia repair to bariatric surgery, our skilled team is here for you every step of the way. Learn more at independence.health. Independence Health System. Expert care here.
Father's Day? Go big for Dad. Celebrate Father's Day with 5 courses fresh from the wok fire. Enjoy a 5-course celebration experience starting at $89.99, featuring premium entrees like New York prime strip steak tataki, oolong Chilean sea bass, and lobster and prawn fried rice. Bold flavors, sizzling favorites, a meal made to impress. Because Dad deserves more than just a dinner. He deserves a celebration. Celebrate Father's Day with some sizzle. Only at P.F. Chang's.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds and sun this afternoon, high in the upper 70s. We'll have some rain and a thunderstorm late tonight, low 61. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, a few showers and a thunderstorm, I-74. Then less humid Tuesday, partly sunny, I-77. For AccuWeather, I'm John Feerick, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
The following program was pre-recorded. The following is paid for by Schultz Ford. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. KDKA Radio does not guarantee